Hello and welcome to this video tutorial that's hopefully helping you prepare for your hardware software support career as well as your CompTIA A+ Plus certification. In this lesson I'll walk through the command prompt. Even today the command prompt is still a very powerful tool that we need and use in everyday IT work. Maybe not every day, but a lot of days you'll find yourself going to the command prompt. Let's take a look at the command prompt and go through some of the commands and switches with those commands. When it comes to the command prompt, there are really two levels here in Windows for our command prompt. There's the standard window command prompt, which is for whoever's currently logged in, that user, whatever their permission is, it will be for that. If they try to do a command they are not an administrator level, they will not be able to perform all commands. But if we open up the elevated command prompt, this is saying that I am an administrator and I can do whatever I want. And there's different ways that we can open this command prompt in an elevated administrative panel. Now we can go down and search for it at the start button, or we can use like the Windows key and the X key. There are lots of different ways we can do this. It's whatever method you prefer. Here in my Windows machine, I like to use a shortcut, and I'll use the Windows R key and I'll just type in command.exe. You can see this is not an elevated command prompt. You would be able to tell from there. Let's try it one of the other ways that we can use this. Let's go and we'll type in command. Now if we see the command prompt there, we know that that's a program. We can right click on that, run as administrator, which is what we want to do. Are we sure? Of course we are. So we click yes and the command prompt will open up and you can see administrator command prompt. This allows us to be able to do whatever we want as opposed to the standard. And there's lots of different commands that we have available to us. If we wanted to open up a program that we've used in our Windows GUI, we could do that here. We could type in, let's say we want to do system information, so msinfo 32.exe, hit enter, and the system information utility opens up. So I could do it that way if I'm in the command prompt. If I am doing different things and I want to clear the screen, I can type in CLS and that will clear the screen so that it is a much better view for me. You can see you can change different things here. If we wanted to use some other commands, and let's say we're running something and it just keeps running, we can use like Control C or Control Break, and that will terminate a command. So if you are looking at your files and let's say the directory and you're looking at your System32 folder, let's just do a dir for a directory, then you might see that we have a lot of files. Now, if I run this again, if I want to use previous commands, I can use the up arrow keys or down arrow keys, whatever the case may be. I'm going to use directory again, and I'm going to break that. So while it's running, I'm going to hit the Control C key, and that will break that during its operation. I hit Control C, and it stops, and you can tell that it's in a different location than when it ended before. Of course, I cannot go all the way back there to see that. But if we ran it again, we ended on kbdsf.dll. If it ran, you can see that we definitely end where we can see how many files, how many directories are in the System32 directory. Some of the commands you will use will mostly be networking, but there are commands that you can practice on your own to, let's say you want to make a directory. Let's change directory, which is CD. We can go to a different directory. Let's just see. We'll go to CD. Let's just go to C colon. We'll just do C colon instead. CD dot dot. Lots of different commands we can use. This is change directory going up a level. If we want to see what's here, we'll do a dir. Let's say we wanted to go to the temp folder. We could do a CD for change directory, temp, and now we're in the temp and we can do dir. We can see what's in there. Let's say we wanted to make a directory here in the temp. We could md for make directory, and we could call this test. Now we are in temp test still, so we'll do a dir. and you can see that the test was created. That directory was created. Let's say we want to get rid of that. Let's do a RD for remove directory, and we're going to type in test. Now if we do a dir, you can see that test is no longer located here. There's lots of options, and the only way you can do this is to practice it. If, let's say we want to create that directory again, and we will then, okay, so let's use the up arrow key and go back to making a file. So we're going to do the make directory test, and we're going to change our directory to test. Now we are in test, and we can see that there is nothing here, but we could make something here. We could put a file in here, and then we could do things with this. We could delete it, whatever the case may be. So just practice these commands. I'll just use Windows Explorer to make this a little bit quicker. I'm in the test folder. I'm just going to create a new file. We'll just create a text document. We'll call this blah. And we will, now that we have that in there, we'll close that. We will run this again to see if there's anything in there. dir, and there we can see that we have blah. Now let's say we wanted to manipulate that a little bit. So I don't really like the name blah, so if I want to rename that, I can do ren for rename, and then that will allow me to change the name of the file. So I can do a ren blah, and I have to be in the directory that the file is in to be able to do this. So blah.txt, and I'm going to change it to secret.txt. Alright, now if I do my dir again, you will see that blah.txt has been changed to secret.txt, and I can CLS again to clear that. If I wanted to, there are commands for copying the files or moving files. Let's say I'll do a dir now, and I want to see my files again. I see that I still have secret. I can delete this or erase it and just type in del secret.txt, do a dir. So those things that we do with our mouse that we're so used to doing, we can do with commands. It's just so much quicker to do it with our mouse. But if something's going wrong, like your computer is infected and you have to go into safe mode, and it's infected so bad you have to go into safe mode with command prompt, or you have to start up your machine command prompt, you might have to use these old commands to be able to search, navigate through your system, and find the program that has messed everything up. You might find a program called bbb.exe that you do some research on, you find that that is malicious software, and then you can manually delete the file from there and then see if your system can start up. Lots of things we can do with the command prompt. Another one we could do is we could check our disk drive. Let's just say we change this to our C. We don't have to do this, but we will go to our cd ... There we go. Now let's just say we want to check disk. We want to check our disk. We have this utility that we can use in Windows for checking our disk drive and fixing any system failures that there might be. But we can also do this with the command prompt using check disk, chk dsk. We can say what drive. We'll say the C drive. And then we could use a switch for fixing and recovery of any bad sectors. So we can put those switches or parameters in. And it depends on what person you're talking to, if they use the word switch or if they use the word parameter. And if you have a command and you're not really for sure what all switches are available with it or how exactly to use it, or you want some more information, just type in help and then the name of the command. We'll do check disk. Hit enter and you will see that you'll have a help menu pop up, and you can see the different switches and some descriptions of what they are, and you can see some examples of how to use the command. Well, that is it for this lesson on the command prompt. There's lots out there. This could be a much larger video, but I want you to go out and play with this tool and learn how to use this. And you definitely need to know some of these commands and how to move things around. Use some of these on your A+ certification, as well as in the everyday workings of an IT professional. That is it for this video. I appreciate you following along, and I hope you're finding the content helpful, and good luck in your continued studies.